Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Ahmed Elmeligy and I'm here to share with you 5 tips on how to read more books. Tip number 1, get yourself a Kindle. It helps you a lot keeping all your books in one place. It's pretty light. I travel with it whenever I'm out hiking or on a plane going somewhere. I like having my Kindle. The nice thing about a Kindle too is that if you're a nighttime reader like myself, it's nice being able to turn off the lights and just using the lights off of the Kindle. And I find it to be soothing enough that it doesn't disturb me when it's time to go to bed. So I highly recommend using a Kindle. There's been research as well about folks that discovered that you tend to read more when you have an ebook reader, at least in the States. So there is some science behind it, and I highly recommend that you go out there and see which of the ebook readers work for you. Kindle is one of the brands. There's other brands out there. I like Kindle just because it's tied with Amazon. You pretty much can get any book off of Amazon, and it's pretty easy to download it on your Kindle. Nice thing as well about using a Kindle is that you can download the Kindle app on your phone, and it synchronizes between the ebook reader and the app, so that, for instance, if you're out going somewhere and you forgot your Kindle, you can always pick up wherever you left off in the book using the Kindle app. So I highly recommend getting a Kindle. Tip number 2, audiobooks. They are your best friend. I go through a lot of audiobooks. I go through an audiobook almost every week. I like them because it's very easy to be listening to an audiobook if I'm on a long drive or if I'm at the gym. I like listening to the audiobooks rather than listening to music. It's pretty easy as well to find audiobooks. There's Audible, a very good app. I've used a little bit, but to be honest, I found it to be expensive. The other alternative is looking to find whatever local library you have and what audiobook repository they have accessible to you. So for me, living in Edmonton, I use the Edmonton Public Library and I use the Libby app. Highly encourage you using Libby. It's a pretty easy software. The platform is pretty intuitive and allows you to download audiobooks ahead of time, and you're able to listen to them, and you have them for 21 days. The problem with Libby, it is free, so there's a whole lot of people using it. So you tend to wait a little bit longer than you would like. Usually the good books, you would have to put them on hold for maybe 8 to 12 weeks before you get them. Older books tend to be fine. The classics tend to be fine. You usually get them in 3-4 weeks. So you just gotta plan ahead. So every so often go into the app and put some books on hold so that you always have books in hand. Tip number 3, build yourself a routine. Know when you want to read and stick to it. For me, I read before I go to bed, maybe for 30 minutes every night, and I make sure that I always have a headset when I am outdoor running by myself, or if I am at the gym, so that I can go through my audiobooks. Whenever I'm out on a long drive, if I'm heading somewhere, if I'm on a road trip, I am listening to an audiobook as well. I highly encourage you to figure out what works for you and stick to it. And it doesn't have to be ambitious at the beginning. Just do whatever is reasonable. Even 10 minutes, I guarantee you, 10 minutes makes a huge difference. Don't belittle any of that. Even if you think like, what is 5 minutes going to make? Is it going to make any difference? It will make a difference in the long run. So please do not belittle any effort you put into reading. Tip number 4, please do not finish books that you don't like reading. There's no reason for us to be doing that. I did that for the longest time. I did that for years. Me sitting there halfway through the book and I couldn't care any less how it ended, but I just had that idea in my mind that if I start a book, I gotta finish it, otherwise I wasted my time. There's no such thing. If you don't care to finish reading the book, what I recommend doing is just skim through the rest of the book. Don't waste any more of your time reading a book that you don't care about. I would recommend just skimming through it and moving on to the next book. Tip number 5, join a book club. It helps you stay accountable. There's a lot of online book clubs that you can join. I'm sure your local library would have book clubs as well that you can join them. I would highly recommend that you join one of these book clubs. It helps you stay accountable, helps you make sure that you're reading something maybe out of your comfort zone too. A lot of these book clubs tend to be random genre, so they pick up a different book every month, whether it's fiction, non-fiction, romance, whatever it is. Typically, it's not stuff that you might be reading on a daily basis, so it helps you get out of your comfort zone. I, for one, don't read a lot of fiction, but recently I joined a book club and it forced me to read a couple of fiction books. I was like, you know what? I actually like this. I enjoy reading fiction. I haven't done it ever since I was in high school, so I kind of forgot what it felt like, and it is very entertaining being able to read fiction again at an older age as I am today. So that brings us to the end of this video. That was 5 tips on how to read more. I hope that this helps you, and I look forward to seeing you at the next video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Goodbye.